Hi, everyone. I'm Carly.
And I'm Sophia.
And this is Away She Goes, a podcast from girls who travel.
Each episode will help you feed your wanderlust with travel tips, stories, inspiration, and more. Away she goes.
Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Kim Kardashian. Yes, everybody. Away She Goes is back. Sophia and I took a little hiatus this past year or so from recording and releasing episodes, and we are officially back with another season of Away She Goes. Hey, Sophia.
Woo! Hey, Carly.
We're back. So before we get into all of the other episodes for this season, we just wanted to pop in and do a little life update episode because it's been a while since you heard from either one of us. So we're just going to give you both, all two of you that listen.
Hi, Mom, and Carly's mom.
My mom doesn't even listen. Isn't that rude?
My mom doesn't either because her English is like she sometimes tries, but well. Yeah.
My mom listens to other podcasts. Like if I call her and she's like taking a walk, she's like, "Oh, I was listening to a podcast." I'm like, "Mine?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, well, you should." So
yeah. I have the same struggle with my best friend. When she's like, this is my favorite podcast. I'm like, yes, but like your best friend has a podcast.
Yeah, what about mine?
Hello.
Hi. My best friend doesn't listen to any podcasts, so I don't feel.
Well, that's fair then.
Right, like if you don't listen to any,
yeah,
I can't be upset that you don't listen to mine because you just don't listen to any.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're just going to share with everybody just kind of some basic life updates. And then at the end of the episode, we're going to tell you kind of what to expect this season. So, Sophia, do you want to go first? So the last anybody here heard from us was like November or December of 2023. Yeah. And it is now December of 2024 when we're recording this. So a whole year. So what has gone on in your life since December of 2023?
It's been a ride. There's been some like work drama. So my company got acquired and integrated into another company, and we got moved around teams a lot. I'm now having to adjust to a new team lead for the third time in a year. It's a ride. Oh yeah, also moving offices.
You can cut this out if you don't want it public. Are you actively looking for a new one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I figure. I mean, I figured.
So yeah, if you have a job for a data scientist at a more stable company in Germany working remote, hit me up.
Yes, hit up Sophia. All right. So I hope that you find something soon because I know I've been there working in like a shit environment and it really it sucks.
Like, actually, that's the weird thing. The people that I work with, they're really, really nice.
They're good. Okay.
Like they're really good people. Some of them, it's good for the people, but it's bad for like the company in itself. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, on the bright side and travel related, you've traveled a lot since December of 2023. Why don't you tell our listeners where you went?
So I went to like my first trip of the year. It was just like a overnight trip, was to a German city, like a coastal town, St. Peter-Ording, because in like this very specific area of northern Germany called Nordfriesland, there's this thing called Bikebrennen, which is bonfires in February, I think, or was it March? Not sure. Forgot to look it up beforehand again. But anyway, it's like a very cultural celebration. It's a bit like winter solstice, but no, it's like spring equinox or something is like the next. I think it's like related or close to spring equinox. It might even be between spring equinox and winter solstice. Very pagan and yeah, I just went there with some friends, and then the next day we went surfing, just slept in our vans. It was quite nice. It was an experience, and it taught me to just look at what are the local events over the year that can get me outside or in my area, around my area. It's just like a cool little short trip, but it, feels like something more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alistair Humphreys would be proud.
Yes, thank you.
That's the best. That just made her day right there.
Absolutely.
It did.
It's like my number one life goal.
I know. It was Alistair Humphreys proud of me.
Yeah, I also went to Berlin for a concert to see Niall Horan.
I love him.
Yes. It was
He's the
so
cutest
good.
one out of the 5.
Yes.
I said it.
No, that
Come
was
for
right.
me.
It's the only correct
Come for
one.
me.
Like, yes.
Directioners. He's the best looking out of the 5.
Yeah, so that was fun, but I didn't really like see a lot of Berlin other than having like those travel moments where you're like, this is gonna be a story. Because I went
Yeah.
there and a day before that it was announced that it was gonna be a railroad strike again.
Oh,
And I was gonna get
no.
stuck in Berlin. So I immediately booked a coach ticket back from Berlin to Hamburg.
Smart.
And luckily managed to get that before it was sold out because, yeah.
Everybody else probably did the same thing.
Exactly. So yeah, that was
Okay.
fun. For my summer vacation, my partner and I went to Brittany in northern France with the dog and the van, and it was really nice. We were quite lucky with the weather, but I wasn't quite lucky with my health because I had some back problems. So I spent quite a lot of time on the trip just like sitting around in agony.
Yay.
Yeah. But if you're going, I can really recommend it. It's really lovely, especially if you're into bird watching, because there's this island with I think the largest colony in France, maybe the second largest in Europe or something like that. Of oh my God, what is the bird called again in English? It's like an albatross, but it's not an albatross. It's
Heron.
No, it's not a heron either. Is it a booby? No.
What? Boobies are small.
No. Like a blue-footed booby. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they're
not
small, aren't they?
It's not that one, but it's something similar. It's Tulpe. It's Le Fou de Bassin. I know it in so many languages. Why is it not coming to me in
If you know it in
English?
Spanish, I might be able to help you.
No, I don't know in Spanish.
I'm just throwing it out. That's the only other language I know.
It's a, oh God, it's a Sulidae. I've no idea. That's the word that it spits out. But yeah, it's Northern Gannet would be the specific one that lives there. But that's like the family name is. It's the same family as the blue-footed booby.
Okay.
But yeah, and we saw some puffins as well.
Love puffins.
And the bird that is, it's such a weird story because in the French language, the penguin isn't a penguin. Like you have the word penguin, but it's not a penguin. It's this bird that looks like a penguin, after which the bird penguin was named after.
Ah, okay.
It's so messed up.
It is.
But yeah, tiny ornithology excursion over here.
I guess so.
Yeah, it was real fun. And then I also went on a quick little writer's retreat to Denmark where we just chilled in a little cabin for a week, and that was really refreshing.
I bet.
To just yeah, especially like if you have a week off at home, you're like, oh, I have to do all these things. I wanted to like get all these pictures hung on the wall, or like
clean the house.
Yeah, like deep clean this and that. And like if you're not there, at least you're not doing
clean
all
the
of
house
that.
if you're not home.
Exactly. So that was quite good to be out of the house for a bit and to be close to the beach, even though I ended up not going surfing there because I was a bit scared to get sick again.
Yeah.
After that holiday in Brittany, and also my history of going to Denmark, going surfing, and then being sick for a week. Not the best track record here. My Sweden trip, however, was a lot better. I went to Sweden. Originally, I wanted to see the Northern Lights with a friend of mine, visit some other friends along the way, test out the night trains. You'll hear it in a separate episode. Yep. It's just gonna be the train episode, the night train episode.
Supposed to be the Northern Lights episode.
Yeah, no Northern Lights for me. Just clouds.
To add insult to injury, was it while you were there or right when you got back?
No, it was, I think, I was there when you were seeing them. Yeah.
So while Sophia is in Sweden looking for literally for the like specific purpose of seeing the Northern Lights, we got a Northern Lights show here in upstate New York where I live, and we were able to see them really, really vividly and really well. And I had posted them on social media. And Sophia basically sent me a message and was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" She's like, "I traveled to Sweden."
Yes.
I actually knew one of my coworkers was in Iceland at the time, also on like a Northern Lights trip. And she said the same thing when she got back. She's like, "I was in Iceland and I could have just stayed home and seen them here." And I was like, yeah,
that's really annoying.
I know.
So a little bit of foreshadowing. I hope to maybe go again beginning of 2025 to try my luck again. Yes. Because it's frustrating, and like all of Northern Scandinavia was in a big cloud, and we had to drive so far because we're like, we have a rental car, we can drive somewhere, but like, yeah, maybe we don't want to drive like 6 hours to Finland,
right, where there's no cloud. And that's the frustrating thing is, you know that they're there behind, like, you know that they're up there, and it's just like the clouds are in the way.
Yeah, I asked my friend, maybe we could go to the airport and see if we can kidnap a pilot that can just get us above the clouds. We just need to be above the clouds.
Above the clouds. That'd be really cool to see them from a plane. I've always wanted to. I never have. That would be cool.
Yeah. And that was pretty much all the traveling I did, except for a little work trip a few weeks ago to Cologne, where like it's the main office. And I met a lot of colleagues and stuff. And it was actually really nice. We went to a Christmas market. And I had some fun because I went with my favorite coworker, who's one of my best friends.
Love that.
So really goofy, but the Christmas market was by the chocolate museum. So to warm ourselves up, we went inside. The museum was already closed, sadly, but we went to the museum shop and we saw this really fancy looking cacao. And I'm a sucker for hot chocolate, but I have a really hard time finding good hot chocolate in the stores because they have a right variety of coffee, of tea, and then there's 5 chocolates, and they're all for children, and they all have like 50% sugar content.
Right.
And no, thank you.
Yeah.
So we each bought the hot chocolate, and then decided on the way back to our hotel, we would go to the supermarket, get some like a little half-liter Oatly, and then in the hotel room. First, we tried out the swimming pool of the hotel, and then we went and made hot chocolate.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yes, that was definitely a very fun part of the trip.
That's a lot of traveling in one year.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
And I even feel like it wasn't enough.
oh, I feel the same way about mine. When we get to mine, I'm gonna hit
yeah.
And everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck? That's more than I travel in like 5 years. How's Knox?
True. Yeah, Knox the little fucker.
Don't listen to her, Knox. You're wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know. He has this weird obsession with going to the vet somehow. Well, that's actually true. He really loves going to the vet. He's like, oh, my
dog does too. But bring Ginger to get a bath, and you would think you were like,
yes,
bringing her, you know where. She acts like if I bring her to take a bath, it is the end of the earth.
Yeah,
but she runs right into the vet like, woo, these are my friends, and I'm like
100%.
Like, wow,
but then he doesn't want to go like he doesn't want to go get a injection. He doesn't like that either.
She doesn't mind them. She'd rather get a shot than take a bath.
Wow,
it's not. I can't. This dog with water, it's unbelievable.
No, Knox too. And I had to bathe him this morning because he had poop stuck to his butt.
So why? What's up with him?
The health issues, like today the poop was just like nothing, but like the health issues in general, it was just like he had a bladder stone because he didn't drink enough water, which I want to strangle him.
I know, like just drink more.
Just drink more. I bring you out to pee 4 times a day. You can drink more.
Oh God.
You have enough time to pee.
How do you make a dog drink more water?
Yeah, right?
No,
that's the thing. You can't. Like, and the thing is, he always drinks a lot when he realizes, oh, there's water and I'm thirsty. But he's just so dumb, he sometimes doesn't realize.
The poor thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Little idiot.
So is he okay now?
He's fine now.
Okay.
I just have to regularly check the pH of his pee and make sure he drinks enough.
Like having a child.
Yeah.
Oh,
These
no.
dogs, they're the death of us, or at least of our wallet.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Well,
We'll get
I have
into it in a
time
second.
yeah, we'll get to mine. Yeah. Did you do anything else exciting?
Yes,
Sure.
I went to the Eras tour.
Yes, you did.
Woo!
You were very
That's
excited about
that's
the Eras
that's
tour.
my other piece of like local travel. And yes,
Yep.
I spent so much time like making my concert. I like learned 3D modeling so I could make like little special 3D beats of like maybe a ghost and there's a castle and I have like I don't know, I have 30 or more than 30 of them. And like the whole alphabet and stuff.
Amazing.
To make the friendship bracelets and like the outfit. And I 3D printed snakes to like sew them onto my top. So I have like one reputation outfit and one like the man outfit. And it was so much fun. But you know,
You went twice, didn't you?
I went twice. I went both
did go
nights.
twice.
We were fortunate enough. The ticket ferry blessed us with
Yeah.
tickets for both dates in Hamburg. And
Yep.
the I live rather close to the stadium. We went by bike, my friends and I.
Well, so
It was so good.
because the Eras tour was so long, did she do like one and then do one like months later, or were they 2 nights
No,
like
no,
back
they
to
were
back?
they were 2 nights in a row,
Well,
which is the
because
part I
now-
regret because I don't know how this woman does it, but like,
Oh my God.
I just
She's been doing it for like a year and a half.
yeah.
It's done now. I think last night or tonight.
Tonight is the
Tonight's
last
the
night.
last
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now
But,
y'all know
like-
what day. All the Swifties know what day we're recording this because
Yep.
tonight's the last one. All right. Well, that's exciting. Got to see the
Yeah,
Eras tour.
that was really cool. But yeah, not a lot of sleep when
No,
Taylor was in
God,
town. No. And then the last little tidbit I have is that when I was in Denmark, I finished the first draft of the first novel I ever wrote, which is travel themed, of course. That's all I'm willing to say for now. And then if that ever comes out, of course, you'll be the first to know. And with
You'll
first, I
know.
mean, well, you'll know when the episode comes out.
You'll know.
Carly will know when we record
I'll know
it.
sooner. All right. And the last question I have for you: what are your upcoming travel plans?
I don't have any. And like my best friend, like the one that I work with, his girlfriend's a nurse, so they have to make plans a year in advance.
Yep.
And
around
I'm
her schedule.
slightly jealous, like not really in the sense that I love being spontaneous and stuff, but I'm also a little bit jealous that they have everything so neatly planned out for the next year. And I think I'll just have to sit my partner down and be like, I want that. At least
We're gonna do that
for like 1 or 2 big trips. Let's plan something.
Mhm. Wow, no trips planned. Stay tuned. We'll see.
Yep,
We'll see. how
let's
long
see
that
what
takes to
Cardi has
finish.
planned.
All right.
And yeah, let's hear the updates. What
All right.
happened?
So remember how like last time I moved, I was like, okay, no, this is it. Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here
Famous
for a
last
while.
words.
I've pretty much moved like 4 times since we started this podcast. I have actually 4 or
Oh,
5. It's
God.
ridiculous. So I am back now. When we started this podcast, I was living in the capital region of New York State. I had lived here for like 9 or so years before that. I went to college here. I love this area. I have a lot of close friends here. I have a lot of family here. I had moved a few times in that time frame once we started this podcast for job opportunities. And in the summer of 2023, I was like, you know what? I was literally driving out here. I lived like 2 hours away. I was driving out here almost every weekend to see I was like, just go back. Enough. Just go back.
Yeah.
Enough's enough.
No.
So in November of 2023, I started a new job and I moved back here. And I am very, very happy in both my job and where I'm living. And I will not be moving again. And
Finally.
that is that. I mean, if I move, it'll be like to a house like within this region. I'm not gonna but my best friend is my next door neighbor. She lives in the next apartment building over from me, and we have walkie-talkies to communicate now. That is how close we live to each other. So we love that. It's right here.
Love that.
Because you can't see the video, but Sophia can see it. So I am very happy here. I will not be leaving anytime soon. This is where I live now, and I mean it this time.
Yeah, and I feel that because like 2 of my best friends also live, one within like you don't have to put on a jacket even though it's freezing distance, and the other one like it's a 5-minute bike ride, but still. But I'm not sure if walkie-talkies would work around here because there's quite a few tall buildings in between.
Yeah, you may not. We're just like right, literally the next building. But it's so nice because it's like, hey, I got to go to like the grocery store. You want to come with like, hey, I made extra dinner. Come over and grab a plate. Like we just you know,
Oh,
like
I love it.
in addition to doing like the fun hangout stuff, we do like we're like we call ourselves like errand friends. Like, let's go get groceries. Hey, come over and grab a plate for
Yes.
dinner. Like, it's so nice. I graduated in December of 2023 with my master's degree.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yes.
That was exciting. I had been working on that too the entire time we were doing this podcast. I was doing it part-time
Yeah.
because the state university I worked for at the time, both of the state universities I worked for, paid for a class a semester. So I just kind of one semester at a time worked
Yeah.
my way,
Very
and I got
smart.
it in December of 23. I ended up going to the ceremony in May of 24, the big one. So I did that. And yeah, those are like the big like work, school, moving updates.
Yeah. Well, let's hear your doggo update. What has Ginger been up to?
Ginger. Funny you should ask. Ginger also would prefer going to the vet over getting a bath
Yeah.
because
Little
that
shits.
makes sense in the little dog peanut brain. So Ginger is 9.5 years old now. So she kind of started in like the spring of last year, kind of just like slowing down. And I kind of just thought, okay, she's turning 9. She's a bigger dog. She weighs 65, 70 pounds. So like she's a senior dog now. Like it's normal for her to start slowing down or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think anything of it. She was still eating, still drinking, like nothing out of the ordinary. She has a vet appointment and gets like just regular checkup, regular blood work. So the vet calls, and normally when the vet calls with blood work, it's just like, oh, everything was normal. Like, see you next year. The vet goes, oh, do you have a few minutes? And I thought,
Oh God.
I was like, ah, shit. Like, what the hell's the matter with her? So the vet basically said, I can't diagnose her based on this blood work. I would have to do more, of course. But my vet suspected that she had Addison's disease because her kidneys weren't functioning properly. She wasn't producing enough cortisol, which is a hormone.
Yeah.
So like her adrenaline was all messed up. So I'm like, shit. So the vet said, I think this is what it is, but I have to run more tests. So I'm sitting here thinking, how much time and how much money am I about to spend to pinpoint like what the fuck is wrong with this dog? But I said, yep, go ahead and test for it. God bless the vet. She was right. That's what it was. She figured it out right away. So my dog has Addison's disease, which means her kidneys don't function properly. She doesn't produce enough of hormone. I guess when they tested the level of the hormone in her body, she had almost not, like the level was like barely above. And the vet said to me, I don't know how this dog is like walking around normally. She said, I don't understand how this dog is like functioning. And I was like, okay. So luckily, Addison's it's not curable, but it's very easily treatable. She takes 5 milligrams of prednisone, which is a steroid, every day. And she acts a lot better.
Nice.
She had digestive issues a lot of her life and was on very expensive prescription diet food. Ever since being on the steroid, she's completely off of that. She's on normally priced food now, which is great.
And I hope the steroids aren't too expensive either.
$26 for a 3-month supply.
I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, it's about, so she gets blood work now. She gets it. She's gotten it every 6 months, and then once we get to May, when it'll have been a year, it goes to like once a year. She goes back in like January, I think, to just get blood work. But the last time she had blood work done, it was like completely normal. So as long as it stays that way, we just keep doing what we're doing. And now she's fine. She's sleeping right now while we're recording this. But yeah, so she's good. But it was stressful for that few weeks, like wondering like, oh my God, how the fuck am I going to deal with this? But she's good now.
That is always very scary when you're not having all the details yet.
Oh yeah. And I was like, how long is it going to be before we figure out what it is, you know? But we did. My vet was quick.
Nice. So what were the trips that you've taken in 2023 that are plenty, but you still feel like you want more?
Yeah. So since December of 23, I took 5 different trips in 2024. In February, I went to Vietnam as part of the Girls Who Travel trip. Yep, that was a big one. It was my first time in Asia. I was in Vietnam, my best friend too. We went early. So we were in Vietnam for about 2 weeks. The trip itself, the tour was 10 days, but we were there for about 2 weeks. Got to do a lot of really amazing things in Vietnam. Like I said, it was my first time in Asia. So that was really cool. I was like, wow, you know, and a Girls Who Travel trip always is a good time. That was the second one that I've done. In the summer, I did 3 trips in the summer. I did a Miami and Bahamas cruise with my mom. and I love the Caribbean. So any excuse I have to go to the Caribbean is just a-okay with me. I went to Los Angeles to visit my brother and his fiance. They live there. So I went, my mom was there too. We spent a week doing that. We got to tour like the Warner Brothers studio. We got to meet young Sheldon, who was there that day.
Yes, I saw that picture.
Yeah,
So cool.
they were like, because they bring you around like and show you like the sets. Oh, this is where they filmed this. And oh, if you watch like Gilmore Girls, this is the gazebo that like this is like
Yeah.
you know, and they're like, oh, like how many, we're in like a big like kind of golf cart kind of thing. They're like, oh, any like Big Bang Theory Young Sheldon fans here? And a few people raised their hand. He's like, oh, he's actually like here on the lot today, like with his family. And we went into the gift shop and there he was. And my mom was like, so I went over. My mom and I took a picture with him and she was very excited. So,
Yeah.
and then I went to Chicago in August for the Girls Who Travel team meetup, and I got to meet a dozen or so of my fellow Girls Who Travel team members who I'd never met before, including Arden, who I had literally never met in person somehow. But it was a lot of fun. We spent a long weekend in Chicago. We did all sorts of stuff. Oh my God, we did like virtual reality stuff. We went out and got deep dish casserole, because I will not call it pizza because I'm from New
No,
York.
it's not pizza.
Thank you, Sophia. I hope all of you girls who travel
all
to
of Europe
you're listening.
agrees, because we have Italy, where the pizza comes
Yeah, you
from,
have Italy.
like Sicily
Yeah, right.
and Italy, like.
Yeah, you have real pizza, as does New York.
Yeah.
So,
for the longest time, I didn't understand this audio meme where it's like, oh, the cheese is under the sauce.
that's not, no,
Like,
that's not pizza.
what the fuck?
Who does that?
Why would cheese be under sauce?
Why would you put the cheese on it? Because guess what? The sauce burns your mouth.
Yeah.
So you have the cheese as a buffer.
And you want the cheese also, the cheese at the top, very nice when it like browns a little and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, we did like a sunset cruise out on the lake and up the river. We had a lot of fun. It's a very big debate on our team, for those who are not on our team, if deep dish is pizza or if it's casserole. So we are very firmly in our team pizza or team casserole roles on this team. So
yeah,
it's a casserole. I've spoken it. I said it on a podcast. Everything said on podcasts.
Therefore, it is true.
It must be true. It's true. And then in October, because I haven't done enough already. Nope. In October, I went on my third Girls Who Travel trip. We did an African safari. So we went to Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, and Namibia. And we had an awesome time. We'll have an episode later on this season going through it in more detail. So I'm not going to go into too much detail right now. But also my first time in Africa. It was phenomenal. It was one of my favorite trips I've ever taken. We got to do so much. And it was a really good time. So that rounded out my travels for 2024.
Nice. So what's up for 2025?
Nothing. Like you, I know. It's very rare of me to not have anything planned.
Yeah.
But I don't yet. It's not to say that I won't, but
yeah, of course not. No. That's not how this works.
But as of now, I don't. So I'm like, I don't know yet. Which is weird. Normally I would have like 8 trips to tell you about, and I don't.
Yeah. Well, what we can tell you about is the upcoming episodes that we have for this season. Yes. Or at least some of them we can tell you, because we've already lined them up, recorded them.
Yep. We've been hard at work.
Yep.
Yeah. We have some really cool guests coming on. We have a lot of really cool topics. We have a lot of new destination episodes that we kind of hinted at here. Some guests that I'm sure some of you will be familiar with. So all in all, just a really exciting, informational season coming up. Stay tuned.